Today, I put the HD glasses back together. As you might recall, at the end of the HD glasses, I had a big pile of parts, and you can see kind of, I have them bagged, because that's kind of the OCD. Come on, focus, camera. It's kind of how I roll. In this bag, I have the part that goes across the eyes, plus the battery pack hanging out in there, and you can kind of see the little leads from the battery for that side. The other bow, which is the functional one that has the electronic, where the electronics kind of are housed, not kind of, but where they get. Inside that bag also there's an ESD bag with the actual electronics and any, little this and that. And then over in this bag I've got the housing shells that actually, cover up, as well as some of the parts that go under, under the eye, and as well as a screw here and there. So all the parts should be accounted for, but the new things are the stuff that came in this bag. In these bags, I got big microphones. So, more likely than not, they won't fit in the current housing. And I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to be spy, even though these would never work as spy glasses. But, so I'm just going to put one of them in and connect it up and turn it on and shoot some video and see if it works. Let's put it in. So, let's start off by getting out our parts here. We have, again, I'm getting into the bag with the electronics, and I threw everything in an ESD bag, and in the hopes of just kind of protecting it a little bit here, but I don't know how well that actually works. Don't need the bow right now. You can go over there. I don't want to dump this guy out. Come on. There we go. So just kind of review, and leaving off last time we played with this thing, I soldered on 2 little jumper wires so that I could just plug in headphones or a microphone and test it. So that's really cool that that's still connected and set up. And I forgot to go get a power supply, but that's okay. I'll just go across the room and go get one. So I can hook up my power, and in all reality, in short form, I should be able to, because I have my little clip leads on there, hook up one of my brand new shiny microphone membranes. These are huge in comparison. And that's going to be probably the biggest problem. I ordered these just kind of like on a whim. It was like, oh, I need a part, I'll order this thing. So I don't know if this will show up very well, but there's some blunt nose ones. There we go. There under the scope we can see that's the connection area, and this thing is, it might fit in there, but it's not going to fit in the hole that was originally created for it. So because the microphone's supposed to just kind of bloop right there, and then the surface of the glasses is actually right there. So with this new with this new microphone, I might just have to carve the plastic out of the way and have this microphone hanging out. But you know what? I'm pretty cool with that. I don't really mind if this is like look how big that is, and if it's just hanging out the bottom. I might bump it. That's probably the biggest risk, is just bumping the microphone as I wear the headphones. But we'll play with that and see how well it works and not. And heck, we can keep playing with it until we're happy with it. So I'm gonna go get a power supply and hook that up, get that going, and then we're gonna hook up the actual image and probably just clip lead this guy right in place for the time being and see if it works. So I've got my power supply and I've got my clip leads. I'm going to first kind of set my power. I know that the thing operates at about 4 volts, so I'll just go under 4 volts on here because I don't want to blow it up. Be a bad day. All this work I'm playing with this thing just to kill it. So all right, let's connect up. Let's connect up our ground. Put him over there. Last time I did this I had a meter in there, but I feel reasonably reassured now that I'm good for that. Okay, out of this bag I'm gonna get this thing out, because that's where the camera is. if we're going to test it, we're going to test it. I'm trying to recall, though, I don't think I brought the cable. Maybe I did. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there's my camera. Put him kind of over here-ish. Alright, and white is 5 volts, or is the plus side of this circuit. Right, yep. Blue is the negative side. So we should have power now. And we're gonna just clip on, move the camera a little bit. We're just gonna clip on. I want a really kind of a good view here, but I don't know that one exists. I'm gonna clip on one side of this microphone. These clip leads are huge. Gonna push that down in so it's more insulation around it. So when I do clip it on, it's actually shrouded around it. I don't really care if I break one of these, you know, in other words, really screw up the leads or something, and just trying to figure out if this is even going to functionally work. So there's one. And with him kicked out, I should be able to come in and clip without too much of a risk of shorting the microphone. Okay. Alrighty. Let's flip this whole thing. Okay. Gotta keep in mind the battery leads, and they're, you know, I mean, they're power. They could fry stuff and do damage. So I just kind of bend them out of the way. Alright. Marry up the camera. Alright. Forget where the button is. I think it's right on the other side here. Yep, there it is. So I push the button, blue light, red light, let go of the button. You can see under the scope, the red light's doing something. Normally it will, yep, there goes blue. Now it should be recording. And you should hear me coughing and talking and being fat, dumb, and happy. Well, never truly happy. No. Anyway, so that's my little test. I'm gonna turn off the camera now. Okay, camera is off. There goes blue. Now it should be recording. And you should hear me coughing and talking and being fat, dumb, and happy. So as you can tell from the clip, now we have audio. Now I just have to figure out how to get that little microphone membrane in there. I mean, it is tiny, but at the same time, it's pretty big. So I'm probably going to have to, like, get an X-Acto knife and carve and clean up a space and just kind of make it fit in the housing. So the microphone's actually going to hang out the side somewhere like here-ish. But I'm kind of cool with that. I'm fine. And then I can go bloop and block it or something. Alright, so now we've done our little test and everything kind of came out good, and I'm happy about that. So now I'm going to go through the process here a little bit. So on this microphone membrane, the test I just ran, there you can see on the back of it, let's get that on in here, you can kind of see lots of artifacts here. I don't know what all of this means, but I know that this side here, this more simplistic side, connects via the wires to the right side as well. So I'm going to wire that up just the way I connected it here for this test because, well, it worked. I might as well do that. So I'm going to set my microphone aside. And apparently I didn't start my iron up, but we'll get that guy cruising. Give him some water. It's like soldering irons are like small plants. You gotta keep feeding them. I don't know, keep them watered nonetheless. Let it heat up so that I don't waste my time trying to fight it. So yeah, we'll pull those two off, and then somehow, some way, I'm gonna cram this guy in there, and he probably will fit reasonably well. He might interfere with the USB connector, I don't know. Because just looking at the alignment here, he's kind of in the way, but it's right on the edge, and I might be able to, you know, bend the microphone out a little bit so it's less straight on and more kind of off to the side like that. I don't know. Let's get some electrical tape rolling and hold this guy down. Where'd it go? I lost my look. Ah, there it is. This is a trick that I didn't even know existed. So I'm just taping things down. So I don't know why. I did take some graphic arts classes as a kid. I should have realized that, you know, you could tape stuff to a table. And sometimes we forget the simple things. So I'll tape my paper down so that it doesn't want to skid around so much. Okay, let's get that guy kind of lined up. Get some more electrical tape. I don't know that electrical tape is the right thing for this, but I guess it's insulative, so it should help. It shouldn't damage it in any way. All right, here we go. This should be reasonably easy. Just they're not really held on that well. They're just tacked in there. So yep. So those are out of the way. Pads look okay. They could probably use a little bit of maintenance, but you know, life's never fair. Okay. Get my microphone. Now I bent that lead out, so let's kind of like just give it a little bit of a kink back. So we're kind of straight on. Can't even see that. So they look reasonably straight. All right. Let's see what we can do here. It's kind of hard to hold this round thing in place. So looks like they could benefit from just a little bit of a nudge over, just kind of like bringing them in, so that, you know, they'll connect better. So I'll just do one of those. I'm not looking too bad. And I can see that I'm already going to have a big gap. This thing's going to kind of be supporting itself, which is not good, but it's probably the best I can do under the circumstances. Let's do a refocus. Okay, I'm going to have to move the whole jalopy now. Because I just want to get those pads. I don't want the microphone to touch anything else. Alright, let's check it here. Because in all reality, I can just cover this whole damn thing in glue. You know, worst case scenario, just cover the whole damn thing in glue. That way, nothing touches anything. I'm going to glob on some solder, just so that I got a nice... Because I'm imagining here, but I'm pretty certain that the wires I added soaked up a lot of my tinning. Yeah, there we go. Now I got little beads of solder. All right, bring the microphone ends in. I'm gonna have to reposition myself because this is kind of awkward. Oop! It burnt myself. So it's good to do to yourself. Come on. You know you want to solder. I think that'll do it right there. Yep, it's secured. It's not super-de duper, but it's there. Let's hit it with just a little more solder on there. Come on, I go. On the right side here, just to kind of give me a little more sense that it's not going to fall off immediately. What's going on here? It's a joke. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. Blobbed on there. Alright, so there we go. our microphone is now secure. It's the biggest component on the entire system is this microphone. But it sounded pretty good. I was actually really happy with that test. So, because I was actually pretty dumbfoundedly surprised that it sounded as good as it did. So the next problem becomes, okay, how do I get this in there? Because you can already see that. Let me focus here. That it used to fit in that hole right there. So I got to carve out a lot of that, and you can kind of see how far I'm off. Get it in position. I'm pretty significantly off in. Keeps moving in the alignment there. So I need to really get the X-Acto blade out and chop. However, the height seems to be okay. So I'll just chop it up with the X-Acto blade a little bit, and yeah, it'll fit fine. I might have to modify the other side too. Actually, most definitely. Okay. It's almost as big as the battery, right? Okay, so I can kind of see I need to be about there-ish. Okay. I'm just... There we go. Shouldn't cut towards yourself, but I am. Didn't learn my lesson as a kid when I sliced my hand open, I guess. Okay. Let's see how she goes now. Nope. You can see, actually, it's flying through there, so maybe it's not a huge problem, but I should remove some more material right here-ish, so that maybe to like that level there, so that this kind of fits in a little better. But it's close, getting there. That took all of 10 seconds or so. Bet I could just use my soldering iron to do this and just melt this away. I mean, it's just plastic after all. I mean, it's not... not dealing with missiles here after all. I'm gonna end up cutting myself one way or the other, right? Get in there. Oop, just a little more. Getting close though, you can kind of see. I just need to kind of... no, I think we're there. I think we're good. I think that's going to hit the side of my head is what I think is going to happen. So, in that statement, I should remove a little bit more in right there, so I can try and push this further this way, so that it's further, because this is the side of your head. I mean, the end of this is, so this is touching my head at this point. I don't think I can overcome all that distance, but I don't know. I'm having thoughts of flipping that microphone over, just because, just because then I'd have all this area here on this side here. So I think I'm actually just going to do that. I have this theory that it'll work either way, but we'll test it before I reassemble everything and find out it doesn't work, because that would be stupid. Okay, let's just disconnect. So now I did all that soldering to make sure it won't come off, and now I want it to come off. Okay. Plus, I think doing this probably will encourage it to be further away from my head. Alright, let's get this in position again. Soldering it back, take 2. in lieu of a pair of third hands, tape the damn thing down. Okay, I want to kind of correct these because you can see I made them so they do that, and I want them to go the other way. So I'm gonna just come in here and give them a little. Whoa! I think I might be breaking this one. Okay, good enough. Now I've got the problem where it's just massively higher. So, so I'm gonna untape, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let it free float. Try it. Ain't gonna. Not gonna make for good video because I'm probably gonna end up just sitting it on something. Ah, I will. Like this. It goes like this. Been watching watching is the wrong word, but listening to a tremendous amount of Father Knows Best from, and I'll tell you what, that's, for me, some really kind of kick-ass radio. The era of radio drama, having that as a comedy was just fun. I can get one, get both of them. Alright. Looks like we got one poorly tacked in. But it's there. So what we can do, changing up a little bit, is then kind of using that, reposition this guy here. In theory, reposition this guy here. He doesn't want to move. Why don't you want to move? So he looks actually not too bad. If I come in and tack him, and let's hit him with some more solder. Oop, 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 oop. Okay, let's check him out. Looks like I got it. It may not be the best solder job I've ever done, but looks like we got it. Alright, let's give it a test. The thing we're pretty much completely still set up. So I'm going to turn the power off the power supply. Hook up my power leads. Doot. And my camera hides over here. Okay. So I'll just connect him. And alright, let's push our buttons. Oh, yep, gotta turn the power on. Okay, now when it flashes blue. Hey, there it goes. So that's the microphone flipped around. Hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully it sounds good. So I flipped the microphone around, and it actually looks like it works. I really seem surprised about that because I don't really know anything about microphones and stuff, I guess. Anyways, so it works, and I'm happy. So now I can get back to trying to fit it into the enclosure. Alright, so that's good. We got all that hooked up. I'm going to disconnect my power. Bring the enclosure back in. So here's our enclosure. You can kind of, you should be able to see pretty significantly that now it's really hitting that thing. And I really, really want that kind of as far away from me as possible, because I don't want it rubbing up against me as I'm trying to shoot video with it. So I might just have to carve that entire black area out of there so that this thing will bloop right in there. So I'm actually gonna cheat a little bit. Don't tell anyone. I'm gonna just kind of melt it out of the way. This is not good for the solder tips, but I have about 1 billion of them, so as long as you clean them pretty good, they'll do okay. Yeah, you can see. Tip looks still okay, so I'm happy with that. So that's melted. And I'll just clean it with the knife just to facilitate the OCD. Okay, let's see how she fits again. Or fits now. Still not there. You can see still got some more work to do. I think really in this area here, and I think I need to take a little bit out of here too. So I'll get the iron again. I'll just kind of like melt. It's kind of like cutting wax with a hot knife, just kind of right out of the way. That's the main reason I like doing this. But because it's just petroleum. It's all just oil, and all oil melts. Well, all plastic melts because it's made of oil, I guess. Same reason polystyrene will just like right away when you get heat near it. Okay. Let's get that guy in there. In his spot. Oh, we're getting so close. Still a little bit of an impact. I might actually have to remove some of this outside too. But it's getting really, really good. It's really close. In fact, I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to melt straight down. Just kind of carve him out a little home right there. That looks like a mess, but the bulk is gone, and then the knife you just kind of use to clean the surfaces up. Now, if you don't have a good iron, I recommend not doing that, by the way, just because it will kill your tip, especially if your tip isn't replaceable and you don't clean it immediately. It's not a really hot one. It'll just gum up on it, and, well, you'll be sad. Let's see how she fits. Ooh, getting close. Got a little bit more right there. This is gonna look like a mess, but you know what? I don't really care. I want it to work, and oh, actually, hold on. I'm liking that. It's kind of being supported by what's left of the housing, so that's nice. So it's in there. You can kind of see there, and it's kind of sitting in there, but it's got to come back out right now. But because what we have to do now is just quickly remove my leads here because we no longer need them. Zoop, zoop. Okay. So now I can really, in my opinion, I guess, start reassembling this thing. I might have to modify the side that this thing connects into, so you know, the topping piece, but not really certain yet. So let's start by grabbing the bow, and in the bow there was a little switch that goes right there. You can see the little indentations, and that actually touches the on-off switch. So let's get that guy. Let's get out our big chunks. There's our big chunks there, and there's our switch. There's a little cover that used to, and I'm going to use that word briefly, used to cover the, excuse me, used to cover up the USB ports and stuff. And I guess if I was a spy, that might matter, but I'm not a spy, so I don't care. I might keep dirt out, but in all reality, if it gets dirty, I'll just take it apart and clean it. Lord knows it's not that I haven't already taken the darn thing apart, right? Okay, get in there, button. Button doesn't want to go in there. What's going on here? Let's see, maybe it has to go in that side first. I mean, I've heard of stranger things. So let's... Why not too good for your home? Get a Billy Madison joke in there, why not? Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's one of those weird things where I guess this side has to go in first and then the rest will fall in. So, okay, it's picky. So we're gonna drop in this guy, a newly repaired board, push him all the way to the bottom. Okay, and I need sorry, I need to secure it in that hole there. Oh, finger's huge. Now it needs to be secured in that hole there and that hole there, and I can actually see they're not really lining up. So let's see if I can. Maybe it just needs a little bit of love. Yeah, it just needs a little bit of love. Okay, pardon me. And this is our side cover right here. Nope, that's the other side cover. So we're gonna see how well. See, I can already see that is not gonna work. You can see that it's just gonna slam right into it. So those got to get cut off so that this thing will close up. So there's a little work to be done there yet, but not much. I mean, let's get. I want that board secured in its housing. So I'm gonna get a couple of the little tiny screws that I remember from my video. Little tiny screws were what held that board in place. So, come on, Mr. Tiny Screws. There's one. There's two. Okay. And then I'm going to get into my tool. And excuse me. These tiny little screws. They'll be the death of me, I'm sure. Come on, darn you, get in there. What the heck? If I only had camera glasses so you guys could see and really watch me do this. Okay, there's one. The second one goes in down here. These are just self-tapping right into the plastic, so you can tell that that's high quality. Okay. Excuse me. So you can actually see that it might still kind of bump my head a little bit from time to time, but I think we're going to be better off. Alright, so let's get this guy modified. And you can see that really the high point is right in here where I need to kind of cut that down. And I might again have to like breach the side of this thing. I'm hoping I don't, because if I do, then it's actually touching the side of my head, and I just don't like things touching me. No. Well, yeah, but the reality is I don't want it to pick up the as I, walk around and whatnot. That to me would be just not good, just not the best way to do it. So let's. Those are easy. I don't want this one to be easy because then I'll be missing a finger. Come in here with the iron. Just kind of whoosh, melt it right the heck out of the way. Alright. I'll trim this guy up. Make sure it's nice and flat in there. Okay. Well, that's as flat as it gets. Let's see how she fits together. Hey, not really. Still got a little bit of an impact right there. So it does look like I'm going to need to compromise that sidewall a little bit so that, you know, it can fit in there. But shouldn't have to compromise more than, ooh, let's say, there-ish. Because that seems like a lot. Okay. Just come out with the iron edge. Let's do a nice little carving. Someone's gonna look at that pad tomorrow and be like, what in the heck happened to my iron pad? And I'll get a new one. And just again clean that up. Again, cut towards yourself all the time. It's the safest way to cut things, right? I'm gonna end up in the ER. What happened? I'm stupid. I cut myself. It's pretty weak plastic, honestly. It's not really... I mean, I probably didn't need the iron to modify this, but... You know, oh well. Look at that. Look at that. So now, we got a little chunk out of there. Probably took more than I had to, but oh well. Now I have this big-ass microphone that just sticks out. Completely not suspicious at all. It looks like it belongs there, so that's cool. I like it. So, that said, we can essentially begin reconstruction of the rest of the glasses. So let's start with maybe the other side with this, because again, I opened up the other side. I didn't really need to. I opened it up because I just didn't know what was in there, but now I know, which is a battery, and I never closed it back up because I was still kind of in the middle of playing with it and whatnot. But you know, the reality is I didn't need to open this guy up. Excuse me, I didn't need to open the other side up to do any kinds of repairs. Excuse me, man. There we go. So let's start by dumping all the hardware on the table, right? That's the way you lose everything. These are lifesavers. They're plastic bags from Uline. I have a boatload of them somewhere. Well, not somewhere. A boatload of them, and every time I take something apart, I have those, it's just the best way. You know, losing things. Losing all of the screws or losing one of the screws is just, you know, when you're doing a project, is just like shooting yourself in the foot, because you just go, oh, God, I can't find and you know, next thing you know, you just kind of give up and throw the whole thing away, or you know, just get frustrated to a point where it's just no fun anymore, because now you got to find the world's smallest screw or the world's weirdest plastic doohickeys to finish the thing. So we'll put the big screw on the top. If I remember correctly, that's how that goes. Yep. Look at that. Okay. These tiny screws are just amazingly tiny. Oh, whoop, I'm forgetting something. Can't put that guy in yet. Come on out. Ooh, ah. Okay, because I gotta put one of these broken things. I'm gonna drop some glue in them before we're done here, but gotta put one of those in. Now that makes me think that maybe the long ones went on the bottom. Haha. Because I don't think this is long enough. Oh, no, it's countersunk. Never mind. Come on. So double check this guy out. Make sure it's assembled properly here. After all the effort I just went through to repair it, I should probably make sure it works properly. for a long time. So yeah, I'm gonna put some glue before I'm finished here. Well, that just broke right out. Maybe I'll just glue both of them on, because obviously that didn't hold. They're not really made to be repaired. Yep, I think that's going to be my solution, is I'm just going to glue the whole damn thing back to those just right back up. So, okay, hang out. You don't want to come off now? I'm cool with that. Alright. Let's come in with our newly modified and repaired side and get the battery leads out of the way. And connect up our data camera link thing, so it needs to fit into there first. And then kind of pop. Alright. And then this goes. This one's just totally trashed on this end down here, because I snapped it in the original footage. Okay, I'm going to actually try the big one on the bottom. Why not? Oh no, it's not factory stock. Sir, you violated the terms of the warranty. Have we met? Actually, no, I want to... Before I get too much further, I want to reattach the battery leads and put the door piece back on. That way it's inside the hinge. Don't know how I'm going to do that. Because how am I going to set that on its side and plugged in all at the same time? Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the camera. Okay. I'm going to do one of these, lay him down, get him in the scope, and I can... Oh, battery leads don't touch. Make battery sad. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit in the sense that I'm going to kind of put the bow through the window, or the glass window, and can't see any of that anywhere. Well, with a fresh battery and a dumped flash, and now I can get back to work. As you can see under the scope, I've got the points that I want to solder lined up. They look okay. Let me check the other camera, make sure you can see something. So that's all lined up now. I retouched the pads during the quick break just to give them a little more solder so that they're ready for soldering. So I'm going to slide that right about there-ish. Grab that. Just kind of do. Bingo. Ground's hooked up. Get kind of close to the end on this one. Okay. Come on, don't be mean. Let's get it. Get in your home. Okay. Check that under the scope. Yep, looks like those are as good as it's gonna get. So now I'm gonna move that out of the way. Untape my my bow. Okay. Disregard that. Okay. Line them up. And this plastic tab piece needs to get in that hole, so I've got to work it around here. Come on, get in there. There you go. Now we'll push the data connection back in place. Okay, I accidentally hit the power button and the thing lit up, but that's actually really good. Okay, so and then I got to put this guy in because he actually goes into the corner as well. Okay, hold this one down. I thought you kind of worked your way in there too. Yeah. I having a tolerance fitting issue? I don't know. Okay. Need a third hand for this. Well, let's secure the bow in place, because I think you can work that side later, actually. Once this is secure, you should be able to easily. There we go. Okay. More easily. These are words. I believe me. Okay. And one last two more screws and I'm done. 2 more screws and a little bit of glue probably. It's a sad day when you're like, the solution is gluing it. I don't like gluing things. I want screws and nuts and bolts. Not, screw it. Just glue the damn thing. Okay. So, let's see. When one more screw up on top here. Get in there. This one's one of the first ones I took out, and it's all stripped up. High heaven. All right, well, that's why. Now it also came. One of the parts that I took out was this guy, which is the little plastic door that covers all of these connections here. Well, I don't really care about him, so I'm disregarding. Now, when I push the power button, a little blue light. Now it's red, and I lit up the button. Forgot about that part. And now it flashes blue. Now it should be recording. Now I should be able to put my highly sexy glasses on and be able to record some video. That should be enough test video for reassembly. Let's see what it looks like. My highly sexy glasses on and be able to record some video. Well, now with my ultra sexy stylish glasses reconstructed, I think it's time to get out of here and go to the lab. Yeah, even with some wonderful hot glue, they looks like I really honestly should put some tape around the bridge just to class it up a bit, but I like them. I think they're kind of fun, so I'm gonna play with them today while we do stuff at the lab. Guess we better get going.